Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to create a Teams conference call with people who are not in our Office 365. So for example, if you're going to be interviewing anybody or meeting with anybody who is outside of our district and doesn't have a district email, this is the best way to set up a Teams conference call with them. So the first thing you need to do is get logged on to Teams. And when you're in Teams, you're going to go over here to this sidebar and you're going to click on Calendar. And we need to create a new meeting. So over here in the top right-hand corner, I'm going to click New Meeting. And you can give it a title. I'm going to put this as Sample Interview, as if I was interviewing somebody. Here's where I would put the attendees. So if you're going to be interviewing somebody with a couple of other people in the call, you need to add all of them here. But for the sake of this exercise, just so you can see the outside person, I'm just going to add one other person who is already ready to answer. And then you're going to set a time. So I'm just going to do it right now so it'll work. So it is March 22nd. I'm going to set the time to 9:05 p.m. And you can add a description to the meeting. You don't really have to, just as long as they understand what they're accepting when they get the email. So I'm going to click send. And what that does is it sends an email to whoever I made as an attendee saying, hey, do you want to join this meeting? I have PDF directions that they're going to send out to people who are being interviewed. And you can also, I could send those directions to you if you're sharing it with anybody else who's just outside that you want to talk to through Teams. But when it's time for the meeting, as the person who set it up, you can go back to your calendar and you can see that it's time for the meeting, and you can click join right here. And it'll show what your camera looks like. Here's where you're going to make sure that your camera is turned on. You can actually decide if you want to blur your background, I guess, like if you were in a messy room and you didn't want anybody to see. And this is where you need to make sure your microphone's turned on. So I'm going to click join now. So I'm adding myself to the meeting. And then when it's time, the interviewee or anybody else who's in the room will, since they're a guest, you have to approve them to come in. When they are ready to join, it's going to pop up over here in participants. So the way I got to that tab again was right here. I clicked on hide participants or show participants. And you can tell that somebody's trying to join because there's a little one there. And so it says that he's waiting in the lobby. So we're going to let him in. And then you have them sitting there. I'm going to hang up so the reverberation isn't that bad. But that's how you would set up any kind of interview or video call with anybody who is not in our Office 365.